let's get this on. Let's get working out here. This is going to be a good workout session. Oh, good morning, YouTube. And welcome back to another episode here at WILDMAN Lifts. I'm your host, WILDMAN. On today's episode, we're going to finish our 5x5 series, ending with the bench press. And I'm also going to throw in a few strongman movements in between. Now, not too long ago, I was bench pressing at a commercial gym with an axle bar, and I ended up kind of tweaking my pec a little bit when I was benching. So because of that, I'm going to add some chains today to make it a little easier on the bottom of the lift, and I'm going to take you along for the ride and show you how that works. So let's get to it. Now, this was actually the first barbell that I've ever owned for my home gym. My dad got it for me as a present, and it's one of my favorite barbells to use when I'm pressing, either overhead or on the bench. And in between my benching, I'm going to be doing rope climbs from the floor, and you'll see what those look like in a minute. And over here is my yoke setup. That's a Yukon bar made by Titan, and its curved shape is easier on the shoulders when you're lifting. And I'm using these Spud Ink yoke straps, and you'll see what it looks like when it's all put together. Now I'm going to be starting off with lightweight. When you're doing 5x5, you want to start off doing 5 repetitions with lightweight and work your way up to your working sets. And as I'm going up in weight, I'm going to be doing my antagonistic movement, which is the prone rope climb, which will be lowering myself down with the rope and then bringing myself back up using my whole body. This taxes your back and taxes your grip. And for my core and cardio, I'm going to be doing the Yukon swinging yoke walk. When I pick it up and start to move it, you can see how much it swings, which really taxes your core. Now I've added the chains to the barbell now, and you can see when I lower the weight down, the bulk of the chains drops to the floor, which makes the pressing movement lighter at the bottom. And as I extend upwards, the lift gets harder. The chains also make it harder to stabilize because the bar moves a lot as you're pressing. Now as I go up in weight, I'm just going to keep adding weight to the bar and not to the chains. The chains are going to remain the same weight, but I'm going to keep adding more and more weight and continue to do my 5 repetitions all the way up until I reach my working sets. So here comes the first set of my 5x5. And I'm basically going to do this weight for 5 sets, 5 repetitions. And you can see it gets a little wobbly at the top. And that's good because it's adding an extra element to my workout that my stabilizers have to work for. So I just completed my first set of 5x5. And I wanted to do some gym math with you just so you can understand how much I'm lifting here and what the purpose is. So what I have here is a regular barbell, which weighs 45 pounds. I also have a 45-pound plate and another 45-pound plate, so 2 45-pound plates on each side. That makes this weight 225 pounds on the bar. Now, if you see this chain right here, this chain is holding the drop-down chains, okay? This chain will never decrease in weight. I'm going to be lifting it the entire time. And this chain weighs 2.5 pounds. That is the same weight as a 2.5-pound plate, okay? So imagine adding like a 2.5 plate on the entire time, okay? So that's going to make it 230 pounds at the bottom of the lift. These chains mixed together is a little bit of these chains and some heavier chains on here that equates to 40 pounds total. So the total weight that I'm lifting for 5 repetitions is 270 pounds at the top of the lift, 230 pounds at the bottom of the lift, and as I'm pushing upwards, it's gradually building to 275 pounds at lockout. The purpose of this is multi-layered. The reason why I'm doing it today is because of my pec injury that I had not too long ago. So the bottom of the movement, which requires more chest muscle, is easier than it is at the middle and the top of the lift, which is going to be more triceps focused. So I'm giving my chest a break, but I'm also working my chest out by doing higher repetitions and lower weight at the bottom of the movement. But working my triceps extra hard, which are not injured and are working perfectly fine, during the middle and the top of the movement. I'm increasing speed from the bottom to the top. So when it's at 230 at the bottom and I accelerate to 275 pounds fast, that's teaching my movement pattern to move through the middle with speed. And I'm going to do a whole entire separate video about that in the future. But I'm going to do this for 4 more sets with 5 repetitions. And I'm going to continue to do my strongman movements in between. But I'm going to increase the weight of the yoke as we go along. During my 5x5 sets, I'm going to continue to do 3 prone rope climbs. And I've increased the weight to 250 on the yoke. And if I was to continue to do 5x5 after today's weight, this would be considered week 1. And all I'm going to do, just like I've done in all the other videos that I've shown prior to this, is I'm going to add 5 pounds every week to this implement. So I'd add on 2.5 pounds on each side, adding 5 pounds total to the lift. Once I've completed week 2 and on to week 3, I would just add a 5-pound plate because I'm continuing to add 5 pounds more and more to the lift and compound it every week. And the pattern's just going to continue. I'm going to continue to add 5 pounds every single week to the implement and continue to do my 5x5. And on week 5, I may not be able to finish. It might be a little too hard for me, but that's okay. I'll just do what I can, and then on week 6, I will test, and when my strength goes up, I will take my new 1 rep max and start over with 5x5. Okay, YouTube. I just finished my 5x5 in giant set format. Now there's more work to be done. So now I'm going to do a variation giant set format followed by an assistance giant set format along with an accessory giant set format. Each of these 3 giant set formats are going to be 3 rounds each, and the weight on the yoke is going to get heavier. So let's get to it. Now for my variation giant set, I was doing the incline bench press to target my chest more. And the plan was simply to go up to a 10 rep max. And I was only thinking about doing 185, maybe for 2 rounds. But it was feeling pretty good, so I was really happy that my pec was able to handle 220 pounds. I didn't quite get to 10, but it felt good enough. And in between my variation giant set, I was doing these prone floor rope climbs. And I increased the weight on the yoke to 340 pounds. And I'm doing all of this beltless to make sure that my core and everything else is getting a nice good workout. Now for my assistance giant sets, I was doing kettlebell handle push-ups. My feet there are at an angle on a slight slope, and the angle of the kettlebells makes it so it hits more of the bottom of my chest. So I'm doing more of a decline push-up than a regular push-up, and that's the purpose of these. And in between that, I was doing my 3 prone rope climbs, and I also upped the weight of the yoke. Now, this is a mini PR because I've never done 3 rounds with 430 pounds on my back, beltless. And you can see as I get it going, those things move. And every single step is working my core like crazy. And for my accessory giant sets, I'm doing the band pec flies. Now this is in place of doing weights, and it's a little easier to get a pump to my chest doing it this way. And some tricep pull downs with the same band. And the most important, band face pulls. This is so good for your back and shoulders. And we're back, YouTube, from where we started. Hope you enjoyed working out with me today. I also hope you enjoyed doing the series with me, the 5x5 series. So if you want to plan the next time you go to your gym, just do the 4 basic barbell movements, the deadlift, back squat, overhead press, and bench press. Attach a giant set format to it, and you'll get a really good workout. Your strength will go up, your conditioning will go up, and you'll be a lot happier. Until next time, YouTube, thank you.